Hello everyone. So welcome to the fourth video in the series of videos on accounting cycle. So this is problem 23A from the book Financial Accounting. I'll just show you the book. So this is Financial Accounting book from this Kimmel, Vegant and Kiesel. So if you had not seen the previous videos in the playlist, I request you to go to my channel and go to the playlist called playlist on accounting cycle, and this is the fourth video on this. So in this we'll try to solve this problem. So a series of information is given on Ramirez Enterprises as of April 30, 2014 year ended. Now what is the instructions here is to prepare income statement, retained earning statement, and next one is to prepare classified balance sheet. So this is the requirement is exactly same as what we solved in problem 22A in the previous video in the playlist. So it's exactly same. Only thing is we have more items here. So if I just go to the previous problem that we solved, so that was Trush Corporation. We had first prepared the income statement with revenues and expenses. We got the net income. Then we went on to prepare the retained earnings statements, where we found the final retained earnings at the end of the 2014. And then we prepared the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, we have the assets column, current assets, plants and property. Total is this one. And then we have the liabilities, and assets and liabilities are matching. And this was the a problem that is 2.2. So now we come to the new problem. Okay, so that is this one. So you can again the objective is same, to create the income statement, retained earnings statement and classified balance sheet. So if you want to try before you see this video, so you can just pause the video, look at the data from the screen. You can try yourself. Meanwhile, I will be also solving it. Then we can compare your answers with my answers, and it will be a nice practice. Okay, so with that brief overview, let me get started with this particular problem. Okay, so as in the earlier case, so we need to first start the income statement. So for income statements, we need revenues and expenses. Okay, so let me just start writing for the income statement. So we are solving problem 23A. This is Ramirez Enterprises. And as of 30th April 2014, this is the year ending. So as I said, income statement. So income statement will have obviously the revenues, and we'll have the expenses. So sometimes many different types of revenues may be there, but anyway, let's look at what we are having right now. So from the entire data, ignore all the other data, just only focus on revenues, because I want to write revenues first. So this is not revenue, this is not, or let me just classify these things, what they are. See, account payable is anyway a current liability, CL. Account receivable is a current asset. Accumulated depreciation goes under plant, property and equipment. Cash is of course current asset. Common stock. Common stock is a equity. Cost of goods sold. So this cost of goods sold is a kind of expense. Okay, so I'll write X. Depreciation expense is a expense. Dividend, I'll say D. Okay, so just to see. And equipment is again plant, property and equipment. Income tax expense, of course, is X. Income tax payable, so this will be a current liability. Insurance expense, obviously it is expense. Interest expense is a expense. Inventory is a current asset. Okay, so how much of finished products you are having which is ready to be sold. Land, okay, so land is a long-term asset. okay, or it comes under PPE, that is property. Uh, I was saying something, yeah, plant property and expense. Okay, so mortgage payable. Mortgage payable, usually mortgage is a long-term liability. It's not a notes payable. Sometimes notes payable can be short-term or long-term. It's not mentioned, so we'll just assume it to be a current liability. Prepaid insurance is a current asset because you are paying the insurance beforehand, so it will be shown as an asset. Retained earnings at the beginning. Okay, so this will be useful in the retained earnings statement. And this is an expense, and this is the current liability because salaries and wages payable. Sales revenue, exactly. So this is what we are looking for actually, revenue, because we are preparing income statement. And stock investment short term. So this is a current asset. So we have, see, this is the more important step in the problem. Once you have done this correctly, then rest of the things will be easy, and it will all, it's just a matter of copying and writing and adding, So anyway, so make sure that you know this, how to do, how to identify a current liability, current asset, all these things. Okay, so we are now interested in revenues, and if you once again go through all this, there is only one revenue mentioned, that is $5,100 for sales revenue. Okay, so let's do that here. Sales revenue, and that is 5,100. So I have recorded the sales revenue. So this data is recorded. Next, the expenses. Okay, so because in the income statement, I need to have all the expenses. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of expenses. Okay, so let me quickly copy this. Cost of goods sold, depreciation expense. Cost of goods sold, depreciation expense. Okay, so then I have income tax expense, insurance expense, interest expense. So income tax expense, insurance expense, salaries and wages expense. No, did I miss something? Sorry. Interest expense, salaries and wages payable. Oh, not payable, expense. Okay, so these are all the 6 different types of expenses that are shown in the given data. Okay, so okay, cost of goods sold is, again, needs to be very careful. Okay, 1060, depreciation is 335. Okay, so 1060, 335. Then income tax expense 165, insurance expense 210 and 400. 165, 210 and 400. Salaries and wages expense is 700. Okay, so hopefully I got all the entries correct. So let's add this and then check what is the total expense. 1060 plus 335 plus 165 plus 210 plus 400 plus 700. So 2870 is the total. So this is my total expenses. So revenues minus expenses will be nothing but net income. Okay, so let me write now net income. So from 5100 minus 2870. So 2230 is the my net income. Okay. So this concludes the complete income statement of the Ramirez Enterprises. So again, you need to go very slow, check one by one whether there's anything missing or any calculation error and all these things. So you need to step by step check and then proceed. Okay, so now the income statement is completed. So what is the next thing that needs to be done? So here you can see income statement is done. Retained earnings statement. Okay, so let us prepare the retained earnings statement. So again we start Ramirez Enterprises. So as of 30th April 2014, year ending. So here our accounting cycle is 1 year. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. Then retained earnings statement. So we begin by looking at what is the beginning retained earnings. So where is RE? I'm just searching for RE. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So retained earnings at the beginning of the year appears to be 1600. Okay. So retained earnings beginning. Next, I will add the net income. So where is the net income? So the bottom line of your income statement is net income 2230. So that net income will be added into the here 2230. But before adding, we can say less or subtract dividends. So whatever dividends paid in that particular year, that we need to subtract. So here again look at the D. So here I am having dividends. So looks like 325 is the dividends paid. So I'll subtract 325. So finally I am having retained earnings at end of the year. Okay, so what is it? Retained earnings at the end of the year. So I'll just do 1600 plus 2230 minus 325. So I'm getting 3505, $3,505 as the retained earnings at the end of the year. So this concludes the retained earnings statement for the Ramirez Enterprise. Okay. So two things are done. So retained earnings statement is done. So next we have to prepare a classified balance sheet for Ramirez Enterprises as of April 30. Okay, so let's do classified balance sheet. You know what it is. If you've seen my previous videos by now, you know what is the meaning of that. And let's try to do this. Okay, so here let me write Ramirez Enterprises year ending 30th April 2014. So that is important. And then what is it? Classified balance sheet. Okay, so what will be there in the classified balance sheet? Again, if you see in the previous problems, Trust Corporation, we prepared income statement, retained earnings statement, and then we went to this classified balance sheet in which we have assets, current assets, plant property, all these things. So I'll do that here also. Assets, then we have current assets. Okay. So CA. So what are the current assets? So here again you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of current assets are there. Okay. So first, I like to write cash in the beginning. So first cash 1270. Okay. so let me leave some more gap. 1270. Okay, so that is cash. Okay, so cash is done. Then I have accounts receivable 810. Okay, so I have done this accounts receivable. Next we have, what else we have here? So 1 2. Next I have CA, inventory. Okay, so inventory of 967. Okay, so okay, and next we have prepaid insurance of 60. Okay, so $60. Next, last one, stock investments short term 1200. Okay. Stock investments short term. Okay. So forgive my handwriting, but numbers I will write neatly. Okay, so here what are the total current assets? Okay, so what is the total current assets? 1270 plus 810 plus 967 plus 60 plus 1200. So 4307 is my total current assets. Next, is there any long-term assets like plant, property and equipment? So let me write the heading: plant, property and equipment. Okay, so what is this plant, property and equipment? So here I have 1 2 3. Okay, so I have 3 entries. So first let me go ahead with land. Okay, so the land rate is 3100. Okay, so then we have equipment. So equipment is 2420. Okay. And under the equipment we have less accumulated depreciation. Okay, so I'm just writing short form accumulated depreciation, and that amount is 670. Okay, so to confuse you, they gave in a jumbled order. So anyway, so 670. So minus 670. So what is my total? So I'll write here 3100 plus 2420 minus 670. So I'm getting 4850. So this is the long-term assets. Now, is there any intangible assets, okay, like goodwill or patents or trademarks or things like that? So again, if you see, there is nothing like that. So let's go ahead and do the total assets. So the total assets are addition of these two. So this number plus 4307. So I'm getting total of 9157. So that is my total assets. So we finished the assets side. Now let's go on to the liabilities side. Okay. And current liabilities. So what are the current liabilities? So again, check in this. Okay. So I have accounts receivable 1 CL, another CL, another CL, another CL. 4 current liabilities are there. So let me go one by one. Accounts payable. Okay, I start with accounts payable. which is 834. Next I have income tax payable 135. Next I have notes payable. So this also, remember, we assume to be a small what you call short-term liability or current liability. So that is 61 and the amount is also less. Notes payable 61. Next we have salaries and wages payable of 222. Okay. Okay, so this is the now we need to find the total current liabilities because we have found all of them. So let's add this. So 834 plus 135 plus 61 plus 222. So I'm getting 1252 as the current liabilities. Okay. Next, is there any long-term liability? So now if you see, there is one entry, mortgage payable, which is a long-term liability of 3500. Okay, so mortgage payable. So I can write long-term liabilities. This is the heading. Under that, mortgage payable. So this mortgage payable is 3500. So 3500. And if we once again check, there is no other entry because we used all these entries. Okay, so except common stock is there. So this will come under equity. So let's go to equity. So under equity I have common stock of $900. Now I think all the information is being used. None of the numbers is left. We have crossed all the numbers. So hopefully we covered everything. Now in order to close this, we need retained earnings because retained earnings part of equity. Retained earnings at the end of the year. Okay, so what is the retained earnings? So you go to the previous statement, retained earnings statement. In that, the bottom line is the 3505 retained earnings. So that information here you can introduce 3505 as the retained earnings. Now I'll get the total liabilities plus equities. So what is it? So here I already have 1252 and then I have to add these three. So plus 3500 plus 900 plus 3505. So finally I'm getting $9157, $9,157 as the total this thing. And again, if you check, your total assets is also same. So your balance sheet is balanced, so you don't have any problem. So if your balance sheet is not balanced, that means somewhere you made a calculation mistake or some entry you forgot, something like that. So again, see, you take the data in the question, whatever data you utilize, you strike it off. So this kind of thing will make more easy for you to make the statement. So this technique you can follow. So let me make a border. So this concludes the balance sheet preparation of Ramirez Enterprises. In fact, this also concludes the this particular problem 2.3a. So we have seen three problems on this topic of preparing a classified balance sheet given some kind of information like this. So in the next section, we will slightly change the topic a little bit more in depth. We will go what is called as tabular analysis. So please wait for the next video, which is going to come soon. And so far we have recorded about 4 videos, I believe, on the topic of accounting cycle. Okay, so and I will be teaching this only through examples like this. So by solving big example problems like this, you will get all-round understanding of how to do it. So if you like this video, please press the like button, and you can share and subscribe. Thanks.